Today I'm going to show you the false breakout playbook revealed once and for all. So let's look at some charts here, and I'm going to show you why the typical way of trading, the traditional classical way of technical analysis, does not work. Well, it works if you want to lose money. It really works great for losses. So let's jump right into it without any further ado. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at good old-fashioned support resistance. So down here we have a major swing low. We can all see that. And if we draw a horizontal line off of that, we can see this. Now this gets very tricky. Price comes down to it. We would expect it to go down to this low. And it doesn't quite get there. Ever have that happen in your trading? Yeah, me too. We all have. So now it's like, it didn't quite get there, but it came back up. So what do we do about that? But then, it comes back down. So let's watch this now. I'm going to take the drawing tool off of there. We're going to watch it bar by bar as we go through this. Let's see if we can get this puppy to go. I guess I'll just have to move it. Okay, so now we do get a bounce. Now you might say, oh, it's off of this support level over here. And that would make some sense, right? Okay, it didn't bounce off of that, didn't quite get to that level, but now we've got a new support level. And if you look at the candlesticks, you say, ooh, nice big green candlestick. Looks like, there we go. We've got our final low. And lots of people use support resistance for trading, as you should, but you got to know how to use them correctly. So as it goes forward now, and we say, oh, okay, we got support there. Wait a minute. Now we got a red bar. Actually, let me change the scaling here so we can see this low here still. So we got that low, this one that didn't quite make it there. And now, oh, gosh, it came right back down and it broke that low. So if you bought off of this support level, which looked pretty good, now your trading account looks no so bueno. So where does it go? Okay, it goes red bar, red bar, red bar. Ooh, that's a neutral bar. And then, it goes back down again. And now we get a big green bar. So two things here. This is critical. As we look at this, let's bring our lines back up. What we got is, see if I can move that down. There we go. Oh, I say I moved the chart. So yeah, the lines don't quite match there anymore, but you can see where we got. So the big deal here is this low, the market is still seeing. So when you get close to a support level, but it doesn't quite reach it, that means that, oh no, the market didn't reach that major previous support level. This is an intermediate low, goes back up, comes back down. And so now some amateur traders are saying, oh, this is the new low, so we're going to go up. But no, the professional traders are still looking at this low as support. Not this one, but that one. So as it comes back down, now you'll notice, very, very, very important, muy importante, as they like to say in professional trading circles, we actually get a lower low. So a lot of people are going to say, oh, now we're in a downtrend because we've got lower highs and lower lows. And again, wrong. Trend is not properly defined as lower highs and lower lows, or for an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. That is not the proper way to define a trend. So I know I'm being kind of heterodox here, unorthodox. I'm breaking a lot of the traditional wisdom that is taught out there. And that is right. And you need to break the traditional wisdom if you want to make money, because the traditional wisdom is known by everybody. And once everything is known by everybody, then it stops working. So this is why, hey, I have a lot of respect for the classical technical analysis books written by the fathers and mothers of technical analysis. A lot of respect for it, and it worked back in the day when they wrote them. But we are decades, way, way, way after that. And now we've got algos, we've got high-frequency trading, we've got, all kinds of things have changed. The hours, everything's changed. So the old stuff no longer works. Okay, so we give it its respect in history, but we don't trade that way anymore. We've got to have and you've heard this before, you got to have an edge. And an edge means you've got to have something you're trading that other people are not trading. So we're going to take the other side of the traditional edges, or what's no longer an edge, but the opposite side of traditional technical analysis. So lower low, that actually could be a sign of a bullish signal. Why? So now let me take these lines off of here just so that we have more clarity. And here's what we're looking at. So, okay, we got that low. You saw that. Now, what happened here is, first of all, we've got this beautiful bar right there. So lower low, but lows and highs are not meaningful. What is meaningful is the open and the close, and especially the close. The close is called a professional number on the bar because that identifies where the market found value, where the market participants established their sentiment during that period of time, whatever period of time that is. This happens to be a daily chart. After all was said and done during that day. Okay, intraday, the market could do all kinds of stuff, but at the end of the day, where did the market close? We used to call it settlement, and that was the official number of what the market participants evaluated the market at. So when we go back here and we draw this, you can see, oh, look at that. Well, bet you by golly, wow. Right there. So this long wick here actually represents a rejection of value. This is a bullish signal that, again, market logic. Market logic is that the market participants, professionals, there was some trading down at these lower levels, these price levels down here. But again, by the time everything was said and done, the market rejected these lower prices and said, no, we value the market up here at or above this previous major low. So that is a bullish signal. Who cares if it's a lower low? Does not matter. Okay, and then the market goes up, 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 and makes higher highs. Now, it doesn't just make higher highs, right? It makes significantly higher highs. And what do I mean by significant? Well, what we mean by significant is, again, we're not going to draw it up, by the way, very important. Don't draw your resistance levels off of the highs and lows either. We want to draw it off of the real bodies, because that's where value is found. Again, the market closed here, opened there. This is really the significant level. That's not. That's a rejection of these prices. So before we consider that resistance has been broken, we want to see this kind of action here with this bar. So let me make sure I got the right drawing tool here. So this bar still does not give us an indication of breaking of resistance because, again, it closed down here, and we had a higher high, but it's a rejection of value wick. Now, that also doesn't mean we're necessarily bearish. It just means for that one day, what's happening? The market participants are seeing that previous high, and they're indecisive. They're uncertain. And that's the key. So they pause. A pause just means that everybody's looking at that previous high and saying, previously, that's where the market decided that that was the fair value of this market, NVIDIA in this case. So now we're not sure. We're uncertain. Are the other people, everybody's kind of looking around, are other people going to buy through this or not? So everybody kind of pauses. And the next day, the answer is yes. Yes. And then it actually does go up. That's your bullish confirmation of the breakage of this high. So I call this a pierce, and I call that a break. And now we actually have a break of resistance. So there you go, my friend. Watch out for these false breakouts, as they're sometimes called, a fake breakout, and learn the professional way to trade. Which highs and lows really matter for support resistance? And then look at the price action. How does price react? Read the price at those levels and the relationship of the close to the high, the open, the low. But it's the close that really matters. Now, there's one other thing that's very, very important. This is all good, and you should be doing this. But inside of these bars is more information. So candlestick bars are great. And yes, you should learn how to read them. But inside each candlestick bar, or even inside of a series of candlestick bars like this here, there is price action. Well, there's supply and demand shifting there. And I call these mini momentum shifts. Mini because they happen within about 5 bars. And they will identify a cycle high or cycle low, meaning a final low or final high. But not just based on support or resistance. not just based on a candlestick pattern, but actually inside of that, based on, the supply-demand shift. So when we're looking for a low, we want to see the supply shifting into demand. And that's reading inside of it. Now, I've got a formula for you on that, and I'm happy to give it to you. Actually, I give it to all my viewers for free. I do ask that you kindly subscribe to the channel, but even if you don't subscribe, I'll still give it to you for free. Just go to that website right there. I'll show you how to set it up. It works on any charting platform, any time frame, and also not only do I give you the indicator, but I give you a little video tutorial on how to trade it. Because just like this, there's nuances, right? The dollars are in the details, and I want you to understand the dollars that are in the details so that you can trade this with knowledge and being self-empowered and really understanding what you're trading so that, again, you're self-empowered. So go there, get it, my gift to you.